Okay then, so this is the life, isn't it? I'm recording a mini series. I'm calling it Don't Worry, Be Happy, and I think it's entirely apt that I'm outside in flip-flops and shorts drinking my ice cold drink. Here we go. And well, this isn't work, is it? So what am I recording this for? Who and why? Why is it called Don't Worry, Be Happy? Broadly speaking, but in conversation, there's four types of people we speak to. We speak to landlords who don't have any properties at all, want to be landlords, they're not landlords yet. We speak to landlords who are already with an agent and they want a better agent, and they talk to us about that. We talk to landlords who don't have an agent at all, DIY landlords, and they want an agent. And then there's this fourth group of landlords, the landlord who, we call them a vendor landlord. The lead comes into us and we look at it and say, this landlord wants to sell up. And usually it's for sensible reasons, more often than not, it's, I want to retire or, whatever it is. And we'll look at this landlord and we'll say, okay, this is what we should think you should do. Maybe we'll buy the property ourselves. That's one of the big strands of our marketing. That's how we get the off-market properties, a lot of them, or some of them. Maybe we need to put the property back to first-time buyer or owner-occupier. Maybe we need to renovate it and put it on the open market to get the best return. But you can see what we do with that kind of landlord. What's striking to me at the moment, we have conversations with lots of people, including our own landlords who are already with us, and I might be talking to exactly you. In fact, actually, there's three conversations we had in the last month, and that kind of, I wouldn't say it prompted me to, but it definitely made sure I put this video series to the top of the list of things to make. Landlords who we think everything's rosy and happy, and they're saying, you know what, I'm not happy, and I want to sell up. Is one of the things that's coming out. It might not be quite as dramatic as that, but they want to, they're not happy. And the interesting thing is, when speaking to landlords about the things that make them unhappy, and we know for a fact that this negativity is holding our landlords back. We know. It might be you, it might be, you're not wanting to buy the next house, or you're unhappy about some element. Really interestingly, I suppose this is why I'm sat here with a smile on my face. I'm very happy, and don't worry, be happy, because it's not just as a case of it's not as bad as it seems. So the message when the landlord's saying, I'm not happy about this and this, isn't it? Oh, it's not quite as bad as that. It's actually it's more than that. A lot of the things that our landlords are worried about are actually a positive, and it doesn't take a long conversation to go, oh yeah, I get that. I'd heard this, and I'd assumed that. But now you're telling me X, Y, and Z, I can see why that's actually not a bad thing at all, and yeah, that's a good thing. So it's more than just sort of a cheering you up and trying to sort of get you over a bad patch. It's actually this is holding you back unnecessarily. There are some good things in there. Generally, this is not stuff to be worried about. Lots of it is to be actively sort of welcome. So I've written a video series. Getting this message through is vitally important to me. It's my mission to get more landlords buying, to get landlords growing their property empire. That's our mission as a business. So we need to get this message through. It's not only there's nothing to worry about, but there's possibly an opportunity here as well. Personally, I'm refinancing like crazy. I'm trying to pull as much cash out as I possibly can, and I'm buying like crazy. I think there's an unprecedented opportunity in the next 2 or 3 years. As there is a massive amount of turbulence in the market. It's obvious, it's there to see. Now, unpicking it, unpacking it, and working out what that actually means, that's a different thing. But when we're talking about an unprecedented opportunity, that's got to follow an unprecedented series of events that have just happened. It's got to be. You've got to figure out what it is that you're going to, how you're going to take advantage of it. But it's definitely there. I think it lays in the properties that are sort of from the 50 to 150,000 pound range. I think that's what we specialise in. That's why we're particularly excited about it. Those high yielding single let properties. So in this video series, I'm going to be covering off topics such as licensing. That's a topic that comes up, and I've listened carefully to these bullet points because these might be things that you're thinking about or worried about. Licensing, EPCs and energy bills. So we get a lot of conversation about what about EPCs. EPCs are going to have to be a C from I can't remember, but in the script for the next video, I've got it written down, is a year or so away. I think it might be a year, 2 years away. And energy bills are rising. But we've got some interesting thoughts out here. People say, what is your strategy on that? We've written a strategy down. I've spent the best part of 2 days in meetings about EPCs. It's been exciting. But we've got a very clear idea about what we do, and we're coming from a landlord's perspective, not a government perspective, or even a letting agent perspective, or a government perspective. You know what I mean? It's not just taking the rules and thinking, oh, that's what we need to do. It's from a landlord's perspective, and there's some interesting ways that we can take advantage of that, and it could end up being quite good, actually. I'm going to talk about tax. Generally tax, but very specifically as well, more specifically about Section 24 tax. I'm going to talk about the rental reform white paper. There's a list of other little questions that keep coming up. Inheritance tax planning. We keep getting about leasing a car, or you're just buying assets on the business and running expenses through the business. That keeps getting asked about a lot, so I'll talk about that in one of the bits of the series. Making tax digital, that comes up a lot, so we'll talk about that. There's a silver cloud. I mean, that's going to be a pain in the arse. There's no two ways about it. But actually, if you're not ready for it, well, you kind of should be for other reasons. Nothing to forget making tax digital. If it's going to be hard for you, then you've probably got some other problems. So we'll talk about that. Interest rates, inflation. What we learned from the 2008-2010 period after the credit crunch. What happened then? I think there's some interesting lessons to be learned. And some comments to just be discarded. That is irrelevant. Is one of the several of the comments and questions. Is that we just don't need to be focused on that. That's a distraction. This is what we learned in 2008, 2010. We're doing that, and you'll see why. And when we talk about an exciting opportunity and taking advantage of it, that's good. That's key there. That's the interesting part of the end. So we're calling the series "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Remember to subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when the next video is released. We'll put it all into a playlist as well, neatly. So once it's all released, it's easy to find. This is kind of an introduction video to it, isn't it? A little bit shorter than the rest of one. I guess the rest of them will be about twice as long as this one. So subscribe now, click the bell now, and we will release the first proper video in this series. We normally wait a week and a week, but this one will go out a bit quicker afterwards. So make sure you subscribe, got the bell, and you'll hear that. Also, checking the links in the description. We repeat them on every video. There's links in the video description, links to our website, links so you can find out more about our business. And don't forget, and I'll definitely repeat it a couple of times in the videos for sure. We run a discovery call, a free discovery call, almost every Wednesday on Zoom. It's in a group, so you get to ask the questions, but you can hide back a little bit, and it's sort of delivered for you as well. So at any point during this video series, if you think, I've heard enough, these guys sound interesting, I want to know how and what they can do for me. If you own houses already and you want a competent letting agent, managing agent, look us up. If you want us to help you buy properties that you can't access, they might be 200 miles away, you haven't got time, the inclination, the skill, or whatever it is to buy the properties, then we can help you with that. For the Landlords.com, our letting agent, we fix leaky taps, we collect rent, but we also help you build your property empire. We also take landlords with one property or 100 properties and optimise what they already own before taking them on a path to growth. So that's what we're about. Check out our website click on the description. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you click the bell, and then you'll get all the rest of the videos in this series. I'll see you shortly. I'm going to just keep recording them here, sat in the sunshine this nice afternoon, and hopefully I'll get at least halfway through, and then maybe next day it's sunshine, I'll come record the rest. Bye for now.